Prentiss Institute is located in Davis County.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me how you envision Prentiss Institute fitting into that broader vision?
Absolutely. So if you're on Main Street in Prentiss and you go to the gateway of the Longleaf Trace and you walk just a few hundred yards down the trace, you'll be at Prentiss Institute. Though it's not in the city limits for some strange reason, it is part of Prentiss. And it is so full of potential. It's one of the greatest assets in the county that's untapped, I believe. And as a visionary, when I go there, I look at these buildings and stuff, I'm inspired by the potential there. And the way it fits into my vision for everything, I can see Prentiss Institute being resurrected as a historically Black college and university that's engaged in research and development of these industries that I'm talking about with industrial hemp. The buildings that need to be renovated, I visualize partnering either with Mississippi State University's architecture school or one of the historically Black college and universities architecture schools, or both, and having them come here, do a satellite campus, and as a project, take on that 3-story dormitory, take on those other empty buildings there that I don't even know what they were used for, some of them, and one by one, revitalize those buildings. That dormitory could be used for people getting out of the military that want to be retrained. We could come here, we could retrain them on growing hemp. We could retrain them on some of these new industries that are coming in, like the hempcrete industry, like the chicken feed industry and the chicken litter industry, the hemp, all the hemp products and stuff. There's thousands of them that could come out of this and will be coming out of this. We're going to need people that have skills that the military especially would have. But what about homeless veterans and having them a place to stay, you know, or some kind of transitional thing for people who need to get back on their feet that are out of prison, you know, things like that, that we could as a community embrace and help revitalize people's lives the same way that they're helping us revitalize this property. So my two main things with the Institute would be hooking them up with an architecture school to do a satellite campus there, and then hooking them up with Alcorn State University is my first choice because they're an agricultural university already. Mississippi State is as well, and since they're architecture and stuff too, I definitely don't want to leave them out. But it being historically Black college and university, and I would assume there might be some financial grants and available out there in that arena to do some of these things as well. I certainly want to focus on that and revitalize that, because this was a junior college when I was in school. And it's a shame, it's a crying shame that it has fallen into the disarray that it has, and that we haven't been able to pull it together and figure out what we need to do to resurrect it. So I'm here to be a part of that process any way that I can. And if, you know, and that's why I've taken such an interest in it, because it could be so beneficial to the county and to developing this as the garden spot of the earth, you know. And apparently they've got a lot of acreage there that could be used to grow hemp. And in doing so, that hemp could be lucrative to do these projects for Prentiss Institute.
So a very multifaceted vision for how the Institute can fit into that broader vision.
Right. Also, one other thing with the Institute, we don't utilize that space there. The chamber is talking about having or working with the Prentiss Institute board and doing a movie night there on the side of the gymnasium. I want to talk to Al Jefferson, the NBA basketball player that was from Prentiss, who does a basketball camp every summer. Talk to him about the possibility of taking over that gymnasium and revitalizing that gymnasium, and maybe utilizing it for some kind of after school care for, you know, or Ninja Warrior Training Center or something like that, you know, the Institute sits right on the longleaf trace, and capitalizing on that fact, we have people utilizing that trace that come from all over the United States. They go right by the Institute. Ain't nothing much there telling them what it is or any way that they could contribute to making it, bringing it back. And Lord only knows who is riding a bike up and down the trace. I know the president and the first lady love to ride their bikes and ride, you know, in places like that. So you never know who's going to be there. That's one of the things that could be done, some signage there to help in coordination with the longleaf trace itself. I know that we're doing a longleaf marathon for the Christmas holidays, and we're going to be trying to do some events there at the Institute and promote them as part of our marathon. Our marathon is 26.2 days of Christmas events between Prentiss, Carson, Bassfield, and Summerall, the next town down in Lamar County there on the trace. Part of what I'm doing as the Economic Development Director is developing that longleaf corridor and really focusing tourism along the longleaf trace, because it's also a big, huge asset that we do not tout or promote enough. And it's really a lifeline to our county that could be really beneficial to us. And so I'm working on that as well.
Well, you mentioned earlier planting seeds. It certainly sounds like you're planting a wide variety of seeds to benefit, you know,
Yes.
this vision. Yeah.
I am, and it sure is fun.
So if a person wanted more information about what's going on, the initiatives that are being implemented, et cetera, where would they go to get more information?
Well, if you want like the most up-to-date information on what's happening in Prentiss, I would say the PrentissHeadlight.com. They've really been working on their online presence and getting articles up online even before they come out into the paper. So that would be one place. Our website for economic development is jeffdavisms.com. And we are in the process of completely revitalizing that website. So that will be a website that you can go to for information as well. For information on hemp, the Mississippi Industrial Hemp Association, msiha.org, is they can give you all the information you would need about hemp and growing hemp in this area and stuff. I actually have a Zoom call this afternoon with a former NFL player out in Phoenix that's interested in growing here. Apparently he is growing in other states as well. So I'm very excited to talk to him about that today. And then there's a Facebook page, Jefferson Davis Economic Development District, Jefferson Davis County Economic Development District on Facebook. And I post everything that's going on with us there as well.
Well, as we wrap up, are there any final words or final thoughts or final visions that you'd like to share?
Well, I would say that if you haven't been to Jefferson Davis County, you should come here. The South doesn't get any deeper than Jefferson Davis County, but we're a blue county in a red state. What you think you're going to get and what you're going to get when you get here are two different things. Yes, we have our issues and things like that, but you won't find more friendly people than you'll find here. You won't find a more diverse group of people than you'll find here. I've lived in New York, I've lived in New England, I've lived out west and stuff. These are some of the finest, friendliest people you'll meet anywhere. There is something to be said about Southern hospitality. So I would welcome anyone that's not familiar with us to come here and check us out.